Hello everyone. On this channel, I feel that information about what is happening in China is often not correctly conveyed to countries other than China, so I will be disseminating the information I have gathered in English. I'm getting information from multiple media, so I'd be happy if you could comment on the content of the video. Also, my native language is not English, so I use an AI speaker to create the voice to convey the information correctly. If you like it, please subscribe to the channel and support us. This time, I would like to report on an incident that may indicate that the Chinese economy has reached its final stage. There was a story that the owner of the condominium posted a message on SNS, "Please contact me because I will transfer the condominium free of charge." In the past, even in Japan, people bought resort condominiums during the bubble era, but when real estate prices plummeted, they couldn't find buyers even if they tried to sell them. The property that is attracting attention this time is not a condominium in a resort area that is not usually used. It's an apartment in a pretty good location, right in the middle of a big city. The apartment is located in a town called Zhengzhou. The corner where the apartment is located is an urban apartment not far from Zhengzhou railway station. The person who offered to sell this apartment for free said that he bought the apartment 5 years ago. The area is 69 square meters. When I bought it, the price was 1.18 million yuan. When converted to Japanese yen, it is about between 23 million and 24 million yen. Of course, he didn't buy it all in cash, and he took out a loan for 900,000 yuan out of the 1.18 million yuan. And it seems that the owner of this apartment has already been paying the loan for 5 years. The owner doesn't even live in Zhengzhou. The message doesn't say anything about rental income, so you can move in right away. You say that you will provide an apartment for free, but you still have a mortgage left. Therefore, it is a condition that you pay the rest of the mortgage. It doesn't say specifically how much the loan burden is. It only says to contact me personally. Many Chinese are calculating how much loan is left. Since the price at the time of purchase and the amount of the loan at that time are disclosed, the remaining amount of the loan can be calculated fairly accurately. 5 years ago when this person bought an apartment, the mortgage interest rate was in the high 5% range. Judging from the materials of the time, it is thought that it was usually borrowed for that much. I don't know the attributes, so depending on the case, it's possible to borrow at a higher interest rate. Well, but if you calculate at just under 6%, let's assume that you borrowed 900,000 with a 30-year loan at that rate. In China, it is common for all mortgages to be borrowed for about 30 years. If so, it is estimated that the monthly payment will be about 5,300 yuan. Converting this to Japanese yen, you will be paying more than 100,000 yen every month. The monthly income of Chinese people varies so much that it is difficult to tell. Please think that the average annual income of a person who works for a so-called big company is about 100,000 yuan. This is about 2 million yen in Japanese yen. By the way, this number is the number announced by the Chinese authorities in 2022. I don't know how much the person who offered to sell the apartment for free this time has a monthly income. But if the monthly loan payment exceeds 5,000 yuan, it is a big burden in China. Of course, if there are wealthy people in China, there are also poor people. I have been paying the loan for 5 years, so how much debt is left, but when you repay the loan, the interest and principal repayment ratio will differ depending on the contract. In other words, it is estimated that there is about 750,000 yuan remaining if the contract is for equal repayment of interest and principal. It seems that there is a possibility that about 830,000 yuan will be left if the contract is to apply more to the interest. If you have at least 750,000 yuan left, that means you have 15 million yen left, so in effect, I would like you to buy this apartment for at least 750,000 yuan. Earlier, it was estimated that the monthly mortgage repayment was about 5,300 yuan, so if the original loan was a 30-year loan, it would be necessary to repay 100,000 yuan a month for 25 years. The Chinese are debating whether giving away this apartment for free is a benefit or a loss. This condominium is an area created by a fairly large-scale real estate development, with 5,033 apartments in one block. This area is named Manhattan. Many condominiums are built in a large area where some commercial facilities are also included. This is a common pattern in China. There are 5,033 properties in this area, but currently 331 properties are for sale. And, well, the price today is 30% lower than it was 5 years ago. The property I bought for 1,180,000 yuan at that time was cheaper than 700,000 yuan, so if I received this property for free and continued to pay the rest of the loan, it would be almost the same condition as if I bought the room with the same conditions at the current market price with a full loan. So you can see that the owner of this apartment is doing the calculation properly. The conditions are just right for those who received an apartment, as they do not receive any benefits. However, if the real estate price falls more than now, the person who got the apartment will lose. Currently, the real estate prices in this area of Zhengzhou are in such a situation that owners have no choice but to sell their apartments now. If the condominium sells now, you can get out of the loan without any profit or loss, but if the price drops further, even if you sell the condominium, you will not be able to repay the loan in full, so you will be left with debt. If we don't manage to get rid of it before it drops further, the situation is that people who bought condominiums 5 years ago will continue to lose money. Under such circumstances, as I mentioned earlier, there are about 5,000 properties, and more than 300 are for sale, so there is a high possibility that the price of real estate around here will fall more than now. Now, owners who have been trading real estate in China for investment purposes are all starting to sell because if they don't sell now, their losses will increase. This means that the phenomenon of further price declines has begun. By the way, as I said earlier, the owner of the apartment here does not live in Zhengzhou. In other words, I bought it 5 years ago for investment purposes, thinking that the price would rise in the future. I often think about whether it's a profit or a loss if I sell it now as much as an owner for investment purposes. And there are many such people in China. In China's real estate bubble, everyone with money was buying real estate for investment purposes, so the price was going up. Now that movement is starting to reverse. It is thought that bargain sales of condominiums will begin in various parts of China in the future. If the human psychology of not wanting to lose money ignites, depending on the region, a phenomenon that can be called a rapid burst of the bubble or a crash will occur. However, there are some points that we would like you to be careful about in regards to future information on real estate in China. China is so big that there are so many regional differences. Some places in China are doing well. In spite of the fact that the population is on the rise, the real estate prices have not risen so far, so things are going well. Looking at China as a whole, there are regions with such a tendency. Therefore, there is a possibility that we will only pick up positive information from some regions, and there will be stories like Chinese real estate is going up, but I think we have entered an important phase to look at each region. Looking at China as a whole, there is no doubt that it will decline in the future, but I think that only some regions and sectors will continue to perform well. That's all for now. See you next time.